Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We're just continuing the celebration here in the great city of Ithaca here in Tompkins County, fresh off of the heels of another successful Apple Festival that also happened right here, yes, over this past weekend. And to keep in that same spirit of supporting economic development here in our community, I'm so pleased to be here, joined by all of our great leaders here in the city of Ithaca, Assemblywoman Kelles, all of our leaders here to announce yet another successful investment in what I believe, and I think many of us who are here today also believe, that is a big part of driving economic development, and that is the arts. And so as a arts enthusiast, not an artist myself, but I am artist adjacent. So in this year's budget, Assemblymember Kelles and myself continue to advocate for funding for the arts. We know how vital the arts is when it comes to economic development, but also academic endeavors for our students and our youth, because we know the arts are a way to not only socialize, but also lift up the important aspects of our collective human progress. So in this year's budget, we're able to secure funding for the Upstate New York Alive Downtowns Coalition for the amount of $5 million. And we're here at the State Theater because in that $5 million, $103,000 is going to the State Theater. This cultural iconic location has been in our community for a long time. And let the truck go by. We support our workers, everybody. This important institution here not only supports the city of Ithaca and Tompkins County, but the entirety of upstate New York. More than 55,000 patrons have come here, and you can come here to the State Theater to not only catch a great show, but it's also the staff and the board that have been diligent in making sure that as state leaders, but more importantly, our community at large knows that they are here, they are an anchor. And so again, it is truly our honor to be here this morning to make this incredible announcement. We were here a year ago, and I just want to make folks understand what this means. When we do these kinds of announcements where we're talking about funds that we're able to secure in the budget, that doesn't come easily, because there are a lot of needs that are happening across the state. And one of the things that we often put at the top as we're pushing for priorities is that in areas such as the arts, they are often the programs that are cut first. But we know how important they are for the economic and community development that we have here across the state. So again, it is something that we will continue to advocate for, and I want to thank everyone here at the State Theater, of course, all of our leaders in local government, all of our leaders here at the Chamber, and so many more, because again, it is because of your collective efforts in our community at large that we're able to continue to have these kinds of investments. And so I know we have a great lineup of speakers, so I don't want to delay that any further, who will also lift up the importance of not only this funding, but more importantly, what these funds are going for and why we have to continue supporting the arts. And I also want to acknowledge the Geneva Smith, who's a part of the Upstate Alive Downtowns Coalition. They are also receiving funding as well. So without further ado, I would like to bring up my esteemed colleague in the Assemblymember Anna Kelles, to make some brief remarks. Thank you.
Everything that my partner, the senator, said, absolutely true. And I want to emphasize, because people hear the size of the budget, and it sounds really big, but I'm going to put it in context. So this year, the budget was $233 billion. It's an incredible amount of money. But we every year get the executive budget in January, and then both the Senate and the Assembly put one house responses to the executive budget. So we build on the executive budget the things that we know from our communities we need. And so we individually bring all of the requests from our communities. And I remember my second year in the legislature, the Speaker of the Assembly said, I just want you all to know, it's really important that we do add all of these community needs, but collectively, the requests that you had were $75 billion over the governor's executive budget. This last year was about $54 billion. And all of it was needed. Every request I saw from every one of my colleagues was a beautiful request. So it is a fight between, every need that we have in the community. But the thing that comes up every time when we talk about the arts that is so important that we all always bring up is the fact that it is, for youth, it's youth development. For adults, it's mental health. It truly, truly is. This is what feeds our soul and feeds our spirit every single day when we're slogging through the day, when we're able to come home at night, get dressed up, and come out and dance our hearts out to an amazing live concert. I cannot tell you how many nights, Doug, that has truly helped my soul and my heart and my mental health. We have not only concerts, live concerts, we have community youth theater. As you all know, that's near and dear to my heart. And I will tell you, for my husband who runs the community youth theater that is partnered with the State Theater, it has been a home for them. He says to me, this was our first date, he said, Anna, no. The performances are icing. I grow children. It's really beautiful. And that's true. This is a place that has saved many children's lives over the last 4 years of the pandemic that they've struggled with. We also have the ballet that comes here. So we all need to remember this is a nonprofit. This is a nonprofit that gives back to our community 75 performances a year. We have over 55,000 people that attend. People from all over the region come here, so it brings economic development and it supports our hotels, it supports our restaurants, it supports our wage workers downtown, it stabilizes their lives, it keeps people housed. It's an incredibly important cultural anchor in our community. So thank you so much for the love that you give it, Doug, for the board, all of the tremendous spirit that you put into this, the Downtown Ithaca Alliance for always bringing everyone together to support all of our community organizations, all of you, the Chamber for supporting people, getting people here, telling people around the region about what we do. Thanks to all of you for everything, and the mayor for all of the love you put into our town. Thank you everyone for being here, and I want to bring the next speaker up. So we have Mayor Rob Pontelmo coming up next to give a few words.
Senator, Assemblymember, thank you very much. Let me first say I'm going to have to maybe respectfully disagree with one thing the senator said, which is first, but says only adjacent to the arts. Well, I have to say, if you look at the budget that they have to grapple with, right, that's an art to getting these things done. If you take a look at the challenges with a state of our size trying to negotiate governance and ensure that upstate doesn't get forgotten, that's also an art. And continuing to innovate and how to deliver for this community in cultural ways, economic development ways, infrastructure ways, that's an art. And so, respectfully, Senator, I will have to disagree with you. I think you and the Assemblymember are well steeped in the arts. I don't need to repeat what's been said. I'll just, lift up again that the Ithaca is gorgeous is the tagline, right? But it is so much more than that. It's and being able to invest in our downtown and in our arts community to really help brand Ithaca as a unique identity and a unique destination, not just for the folks who visit, but for the folks who come here and maybe don't plan to make it their permanent home, but they fall in love with the State Theater, or they fall in love with the Commons, or they fall in love with other elements of our downtown and find a way to really make it their own. Those are the things that help to just grow not just the spirit of our community, but also that economic impact. And as we look forward towards Ithaca hopefully winning the Downtown Revitalization Initiative this year, anchored from this street down to the West End, I think investments in a, as the Assemblymember said, an anchor institution like the State Theater are really strong evidence that the community knows where investment is needed and where it'll pay dividends. So, Senator, Assemblymember, thank you so much for your tireless work on behalf of our community, and I just look forward to continue working with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. All right. I know a lot of you out there. My name is Doug Levine. I am the Executive Director here at the State Theater. Welcome to your beautiful not-for-profit, State Theater of Ithaca. Back in August, I started my 16th year as Executive Director here, 16 years. And not only that, but a lot of our staff has been here. Like I'm looking at Casey Martin, he's been here for over a dozen years. Rachel Graham's been here for close to 8 years. So we don't have a lot of turnover here. People love doing what they do here. So if you were here 24 hours ago, this entire downtown was filled with people for Apple Fest. And I believe, Nan, something like 40, 50,000 people come? More? Okay. It's an amazing achievement. But I just want to point out that although it's spread out throughout the course of an entire season, the State Theater draws about that same amount, like 40, 50,000 people throughout the course of the season. And that is a big economic impact. So thank you to New York State for recognizing that impact and supporting us, continuing the support. Really, really appreciate that. And I just hope we can continue it as well for many years to come. Just a quick note, part of this coalition, you have to be over 75 years old and over 1,000 seats. We qualify for both. We will be turning 96 this December, and we have over 1,600 seats. And just to reiterate, it's $5 million spread across about 14 different theaters. We are, I think, the second or third smallest theater in this coalition. So, you know, the theaters that have over 100 employees and a $25 million budget, they get more of this $5 million than us, but we are thrilled with the support. So thank you very much about that. And I just want to say this, people often ask how we're using this money. We are directly using this for staff support, staff wages. So for example, yes, many summers, I think Anna was here for ex-ambassadors on June 1st. And then after that, we have no air conditioning here. So we shut down basically June, July, and August. And we're going to work on that. But in the past, we would have to furlough a number of our employees for the summer. And that's not great for employee morale. A lot of projects get pushed by the wayside. And really getting our feet off the ground to kick off a season is not great either. This summer, all staff stayed on full wage, full time. And that's because of this support. So thank you. We were able to knock out a bunch of, actually one project is this beautiful new ADA ramp that Adam Zonder designed, built, and created. So we have a wonderful new ramp and a lot of other great projects that we were able to accomplish this summer, again, because of the support. So Lea did say we were here about a year ago. It was actually, I think it was a little over a year ago, but at the time we were just about to start a big construction project, and I'm happy to say that it's complete. Our old box office is now our new concession space. I invite everyone to come check it out. It's connected to the theater. It is accessible. And so now instead of having 2 points of sale for beer and wine concessions that was inside the theater, it's in a separate space. We have 5 points now. Our sales are up 35% per show. It's having a substantial impact. So thank you for that. And moving forward, you know, you're going to help us keep our staff here, so that allows us to work on projects. We're going to totally replace all of our stage lights this winter and finally go from incandescent to LED stage lights. That's happening. And yes, after that, we need to knock out some air conditioning. Yes, we need to get some air conditioning in this 100-year-old building. So thank you very much. I believe next up is Nan from the DIA.
Thank you, Doug. First and foremost, I want to recognize Doug as one leader of a nonprofit to another. I know what it's like for those tireless nights to stay up and figure out how you're going to make ends meet. And also the fact that oftentimes sponsors and other grants don't want to cover the operations costs. So I want to stress to everybody here, and particularly to the senator and the assembly member and to the mayor, as budget is coming through for this city as well, that the operations dollars are so critically important, not just to our arts nonprofits, but to all of our nonprofits that make up our downtown. So thank you all for your support in that regard, and a huge congratulations to Doug. It is very important to have those staff members throughout the year, and we're so thrilled to have them. From a downtown perspective, I think what is so incredible for us is the fact that this building, A, is as old as it is and is still in very active use. That 55,000 people per year means that we have people going into our restaurants and bars, shopping in our retail stores, staying overnight in our hotels, making it a weekend visitation instead of just coming for a day maybe. So that in and of itself is incredibly important. And what we heard from our constituents throughout downtown and throughout the region during our downtown planning efforts, more than 1,400 people all pretty much agreed that they wanted lots more to do and see in downtown. A little beeping going on here. Sorry.
We're picking up the porta
Right, picking up all of our leftovers from yesterday. So basically what I wanted to say with that is that those 1,400 constituents that responded to our surveys around the downtown plan all agreed that we wanted multiple points of interest and things to do at different levels for people to come to downtown, all different ages, to be a part of this. Because what we continue to stress at the DIA is that this is everyone's downtown, and we all need to be able to work together to continue to make it a point and a place where people can come to celebrate and do the things that we do. So thank you again to both the senator and the assembly member, and to everyone who supports the state. And Doug, congratulations.
And I am the last person. A lot has already been said, so I'm going to try to keep us a little brief. My name is Peggy Coleman, and I am the interim president of the Tompkins Chamber and Visit Ithaca. And the State Theater is near and dear to my heart, not only as a wonderful venue for local residents to enjoy, but as an economic engine for tourism and for the community as a whole. Tourism is economic development, and this theater welcomes 55,000 people, about give or take, each year, and a good portion of them come from outside of the region and outside of the state. We know that we have visitors who come to shows here at the State Theater, coming up from Pennsylvania, coming from New England, coming from Buffalo, and some of those folks might be squeaking over the Canadian border, we're not sure. But it is, and it's a draw. The shows are such high quality that it attracts people to come here. And once they come and explore this amazing facility, they fall in love with our community, and then the economic impact just spreads throughout the county. So I am eternally grateful to Senator Webb and to Assemblyperson Kelles for recognizing that arts is economic development, and for your investment in this amazing theater for now and hopefully for years to come. So thank you both, and congratulations to Doug and the board.
So again, as we close, we again want to thank the community for your continued support. And I would be remiss in this moment if I didn't encourage folks to continue to patronize the State Theater and all of our theaters across this great state of ours. And with that, we will take any questions from the media that are here. We got